Hello, everybody. Glad to be back again. And flying high, it means really flying high because I've got a man who really flies high. He's been a Chabot College person for a long time.
That's right. Been here a while.
And so, again, this week we're going to have a good show with my good friend. He'll tell you his name and what you do, my friend.
Eddie Hazzard. I'm here known as an extraterrestrial sex therapist, believe it or not. And you got to work with what you got to work with, you know. And happy to be here. I wish I could get one of them shiny hats. I'm just saying, but...
Well, it's on sale, you know. After the show, we'll talk about it.
Well, okay, all right. Someone said Dunkin' Donuts, but, you know, I don't know, you know. But
yeah.
Really happy to be here.
See how it fits on you.
I don't know. You gotta put it on sideways.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh,
my God. You look sharp.
Yeah, I should run the show.
Anyway, every week I really try to have somebody who's really into different things that are fun and things that they enjoy. And I like for you, my audience, to really get into knowing the people that I talked with all the time. So, Mr. Edward Hazzard,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
You prefer that, sir? Or?
No, just Biggie.
Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie is good. I had to take off my cool glasses and put on my regular. Now I can see again.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Well, we'll let you. You look pretty with and without him, so that's all right.
Oh, what a guy. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's extra money later, you know, you pay.
Well, we can work on that. We can work on that.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
So tell us, what do you do, sir?
Well, what I do mostly is what I said, a therapist, but my brother and I started out in comedy many years ago, and known as the Me and My Brother team. And we worked with a lot of comics who were just starting out, like Dana Carvey, Robin Williams, Bob Saget, like that. And like I said, the first money my brother and I ever made in show business, Robin Williams paid us.
Wow.
Yeah, he made $5, we made $3. And that's
per
how
hour, that was it, huh?
That was for the set, because most of the time in those days they
that's
paid you
crazy.
in wine and they paid you in beer. You know, that's the way you did it. So it was kind of hard to pay the bills with beer. You know, you go up to your landlord and go, "Hey, I got a fifth. Can I get month free rent?" You know, and that's how it started. And then we did movies and had a little TV show on cable access back there called the Me and My Brother Show, and we had a lot of local comics, entertainers on there. Then went back into movies, and now I'm here at the Chabot, and I like it here.
Yeah.
I call it the home of Tom Hanks, and do little videos and stuff, trade shows and Comic-Con, beer shows, and now we're coming out with a comedy show now that where we go to clubs like the Englander here in San Leandro and film comics. We're going to be showing that here on this station here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And your brother's name was what?
Norman
Norman and Eddie.
Yeah, Norman. Yeah.
And
Well,
what
it was
did you
called
call
Me and
your
My Brother. Me and My Brother.
Me and My Brother. That was your show?
That was what it was called. Me and My Brother Show. And that was our name when we performed, was Me and My Brother Show.
And what was your takeoff on comedy? What kind of things did you do?
Well, that was the thing. We were like, I want to brag and put my we were ahead of the time. We did pantomime. Every time we went up, we did something new, a new show. Every time we performed, we did something new. We did something current, whatever happened in the news, we would put it in our act.
Yeah.
And so we kept things fresh. So whatever it was, like your shiny hat, that was definitely going to be in the news. You know, the UFOs are coming to attack us with a shiny hat. But just to keep things current, and when we see comics, to tell them that whatever you keep your material current, because it helps you and makes you more creative.
Yeah.
Rather than someone sees you, may come back a year later and they see your same routine.
Yeah.
So
Well, you worked with Robin Williams, you say.
Yeah, before he used to come over to the house all the time. Yeah, my house before, If you got Robin, at that time, that was back in '76, we were just young kids at the time. And if you put my brother, Robin, and myself together, reach in our pockets, you'd probably come up with about $230. That's how broke we were at that time. But, we didn't know. And, performing at the clubs for like, $10, $15. And then after Robin got on, I think it was HBO, then the money started rising. You had a lot of entertainers coming up, and Ellen was just coming up from Louisiana with her mom at the time, and kind of talked to her. She was real shy and really nice and stuff like that. And
Do you ever stay in touch with Robin Williams anymore? Or?
Well, I'd have to use a seance or go on a Ouija board to get him, and he still owes me money. I guess I'd have to go Bitcoin because no, it'd be hard.
Oh,
Robin
yeah.
passed away, what was it, 3 years ago?
Oh, he did?
Morgan.
Oh,
how long did he pass? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Right?
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh.
Unless you get a Ouija board or something, yeah, I got
Oh boy, yeah.
get in touch with him. Hey, where's my money and stuff like that.
Oh, he did.
But yeah, my brother talked to him about a year before they had a comedy day, and my brother talked to him, and then we know people we talked to would talk to him, stuff like that. Yeah.
Did he overdose on drugs? Is that what Robin Williams?
It was medication.
Medication.
He committed suicide or something like that.
Yeah. Now I remember. I forgot about that part of that.
Yeah.
But you say 76. I thought
1976,
that's the day you were born. Instead you were
Well,
doing shows.
you know, some medication I'm on that keeps me looking like this. Well, we were young. We were, right out of high school, because when we saw him, he was performing at a college, College of Marin.
Okay.
And Marat Assad, and he had a beat-up jalopy, his mother's station wagon, and we performed at a club on Telegraph and Dwight Way called the La Salamander. Okay. And that was the name of the club. And it was, matter of fact, it was half a block from Alice Chez Panisse restaurant, you know. And it was like not even a block away, and we would go down there sometimes, and we looked like bums, you know, in Chez Panisse, and Alice would run us out of the restaurant, you know. We go, hey, we got money. What are you guys doing here? We go, oh, man, Chez Panisse. But
well, Robin Williams is kind of a natural comedian, you know.
Oh yeah, he was
all he had to do is get up there and say a few things, you know, and he got you laughing.
Yeah, he was an actor, you know, and he had scholarships to. I guess the medication's taking effect. Juilliard's, you know. Juilliard. Hey, sometimes that medication, you know, you gotta time it. You know, my medication was timed for after the show so I can get a shiny hat. But you know, sometimes it came in during the show, so anything's liable to happen now. You know, but it was a hole in the wall club. But one of the guys who used to come down there, an artist, was Johnny Paycheck, who wrote the song, Take This Job and Shove It. Da, da, da. Well, he used to come in there all the time with a big cowboy hat and stuff like that, Johnny Paycheck. But
it's been a lot of fun doing all that at that time.
At that time, it was a lot of fun. You could say things where now this is politically correct, incorrect, you know, saying things. And you could talk about things. I know we talked about Ronald Reagan. Oh, man.
Wow.
Ronald Reagan. We talked about Reagan, a lot of the presidents, but now it's, you know, talking to some of my buddies who do colleges, they have to, they have to be a little more politically correct and stuff like that, you know. I mean, we didn't go out, you know, just crazy stuff saying, but some of the stuff we thought, you know, were natural, you know, just average stuff that we, you know, we're saying you can't really say.
But I think at that time, probably, you know, people took it as a joke in a sense.
A joke,
So that wasn't, because now you think, wait, it's a joke, but wait a minute, they're trying to say something.
Yeah,
you know?
well, then it was the war had just ended, Vietnam, and people coming back, people trying to get in their lives. California's a more progressive state, and things were starting to happen, you know, movement, you know, things got in there. Reagan got in, and, you know, the trickle-down theory, but it was different times. I felt people were more coming together then. You know, it was more friendly and stuff. The clubs were, you could perform all over, and there was so much money. There was a buddy of mine at that time was doing clubs, and I didn't know, and he said, I don't want you to, I had a little TV show, my brother, and I don't say anything about my money. And at that time, he was making $92,000 a year doing comedy.
Ay, Chihuahua.
$92,000.
Wow, that's
and
big money.
Big money. And well, I'll tell you how it was. I was making at that time, it sounds like $1,000 a month, but I had a day job just doing comedy. But I was working with a guy like Gonzo was making $600 a set. We had 2 sets a night, so that's $1,200. So I'm making $1,000, and he's making in a night what I was making in a month. But it shows you how much money was to be made at that time. And now they don't. You can't. It's hard to make that much money because the owners have slap down on the payment, you know, just because they can. You know, they just make more money rather than paying to the comics. You know, so but that was the difference. Much more money then there is now being made. You know, so you could survive.
So from there you graduated into, I say graduated, maybe
doing bit parts in movies and stuff like that. Then trying to produce little, you know, comedy videos then, which is now YouTube, and back then, you know, I could have paid a lot of money, then I'd been a YouTube star then.
Yeah.
But what we were doing then, we were just doing it for fun. Hey, you know, let's make a 10 or 15-minute video about, I don't know, maybe a sci-fi or a drama or something like that. And you could go out there and do it and put it on, because nobody was doing that at that time. And now you have YouTube, which is really, really good. You can express yourself, get your videos out, and it's a real good avenue and stuff like that too.
Could you bring back some of those movies and show them?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'd have to go over Mom and Dad's house in the basement. I know they're down there somewhere in the basement, you know. Able to get some of those old
But you never know,
out.
you know, all that stuff. It's just like I showed you these newspapers. Maybe I ought to bring it out to 1923, you know.
Yeah, we were saying that earlier.
And let me
Who has a newspaper from 1920? Ladies and gentlemen, what kind of show? I don't have a shiny hat.
And here it is. Look at this.
That's 2 cents.
I got to show you this.
2 cents is the newspaper.
It says new cabinet runs Germany.
Wow.
And that's way back. And in this paper, by the way, they have all kinds of advertisements that are pretty fantastic there. And on this other one,
that's what usually is in a newspaper, is advertisement. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. News and advertisement. How did it get? Do you know how a newspaper? Do they still have newspapers? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, let me show you. Thank you, sir. This one here. What's the heading here? 200 overcome at services.
And this you read that upside down.
Yeah. Captain Throng's honor Harding. A lot of people honored him. And the kick I got out of this 1923 newspaper was the advertisements they had in there and so forth.
I think it said President's widow or something like that. Oh, Harding, yeah.
Harding, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't make it. They said he ate some of that Dungeness crab and
Kaputski.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, he died in San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah, don't eat the tartar sauce. That was the thing. And, you know, that extra tartar sauce with the hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah, you go back in history. Harding, he ate the Dungeness crab, which was, you know, that's what San Francisco's known for.
Yeah.
Don't put it together in them days. Tartar sauce and then he.
And Kaputski. Yeah. Yeah. That's sad, you know, to think about that, because some
Especially
people.
for him.
Yeah, at that time, of all things, just plain old food, you know, tasty and bingo, gone.
That's how it happens. You know, one moment you're here talking about, you know, when's the next Star Wars coming out? The next thing you're in Star Wars. You know, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know, hey, all right. So, you know.
So tell me more about your history is fantastic, the things you've done and so forth. And I'll let you dig into your basement and see if we can come up with some good movies.
Ooh.
But what's perspiring now? What is training?
Right now, just trying to get videos on, you know, in my mind. The hardest thing is trying to keep a crew. That's the toughest thing. When you have a good crew, trying to keep them, you got to pay them, and that's one thing I tell a lot of producers.
Yeah.
Make sure you pay your crew and feed your crew. You know, give them something. You know, don't give them peanut butter sandwiches with Kool-Aid. I mean, you know, everybody get that.
I like that.
But,
what are you talking about?
But, you know, if you're working 10, 12-hour days, you know, I mean, how many peanut butter sandwiches can you eat, you know? And give them something to pay. Yeah. So when you do that, a lot of the jobs or stuff that I would get, I'd have enough, you know, to take care of myself and maybe one crew member. Where if you got a crew of 4, you got to pay all them too, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, is to pay the crew. Get a job where you're going to make enough money to pay yourself and your bills, and then give enough for the crew.
Yeah.
You know, I always make sure that the crew, if I can, to make sure that they can get home, you know, pay for their time, their gas.
Yeah.
Make sure they get a big meal, you know, food, take food home, and I give them a little extra, you know, because if they were union, the money you're paying them and the money they could get union-wise is just night and day. You know, I know a buddy of mine was a union. He said he made enough money on that 2-day shoot to pay for his rent and pay for the bills.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. So I never forgot that. So I can't pay that money, but I make you try to, again, feed them and pay them enough. You know, to make it, you know, hey, I'm not just, out here thanking and shaking your hand. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's one thing I thought about too, is making a movie. But Sarkar tells me, you know, it's expensive, you know, because.
Well, it depends on what kind of movie you want to make. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, some people start out with the mini cams, you know, the sort of mini cams that you take on vacation, or you know, the parents, and you can do a lot with those mini cams, because some of them you can edit. I have a Sony mini cam where it edits the chip inside the camera, which is amazing. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. So basically, you can tell people start out that way.
Yeah.
You know, and back in our day, they used to start with the little millimeters with the 38s or something like that, the little Kodaks.
Well, one of the things I had thought of too was have about 10, 12 people, in fact, out of the classroom here, those that are planning to go into the movie industry or whatever, you know, and then interview them and talk whatever. Because in the movie itself, you know, it'd be something that would come afterwards, not I have this idea and here it is. Instead, let it evolve from where the people are and make that a true life type movie, but make it interesting, you know. And then when you had the conversation with them, they can always change the voice and whatever, saying something else, you know, to fit what you want in the movie. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, the best thing is what I'm getting from what you just said is write out, you know, get a little byline, as they say. Some people say storyboard is good, but I can't draw. I can't draw. I'm not kidding. I do stick figures. That's my storyboard, you know. Sujoy goes, what the hell is this? I think it's a guy. I don't know. I didn't, long hair and a dress would be a woman. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you do it like that. But if you can, if you have a good idea, and if you think it's a good idea, because I look at movies pretty much on daily, and I kind of go, who approved that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's really in your idea. You write it out, and then you formulate it, then and try to refine it, refine it, because your first draft is the draft itself. First draft is what it is, and you try to get better. But what I do is I'll have an idea. If when I start laughing, if I have, then I know it's good.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's my ego talking. I don't know, but I can look at something from comedy and then think it's funny, and I can write it out and do it. It's just doing it. And that's the thing. You got an idea, and then going forward with it. What's the next step you're going to do with it? See, look, you got a show now. So you had an idea at your house, or I don't know, your restaurant, wherever you're living. Yeah. And you put it forward. Now you have a show.
Right.
You know, you have a show. What's it called? High flying. With no drugs.
Flying high.
Oh, flying high. See, the medication's taking effect. I told everybody I planned it for after the show, and it came in during the show because I didn't wear my shiny hat. But anyway, and so your idea came out. So you're on the show.
Flying high,
Flying high. So there was an idea you had, and that's the thing. Not only did you have it there, but you put it one step forward, and now you have a show.
Yeah, and it's so much fun, you know, with people like yourself. You know, you've got.
How much do I got to pay you, man? You're first telling me that all the time.
I tell you, I'm selling you my hat. I got some jokes I got to sell you.
Oh man, I'm going broke now, man.
You didn't know I was going to charge you money, did you?
No, well, I do now. Well, see, that's smart. Charging, that's how you do the money. Smart. So that's what you got to do. So when a person has an idea, how am I going to make money off of this idea I have? And that's where business gets involved, and you know, business sense. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to have a, you know,
plan ahead on that.
You know, go to school or something like this. Is what we at. We're at college or something.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Well, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. You know, flying high. I've been flying high.
How'd you come up with that name?
And if I can get a person like Morgan to get on here, then I'd fly higher yet. But she's bashful.
I think she said something under her breath. I can't say on the TV, but I agree. But how did you get the name Flying High? How did you get that name?
I stole it. No, not really. There's a guy here who does this kind of thing. He works on making names for a show, and he gave me about 4 or 5 different things. When he said Flying High, wow, I thought, that's great. You know, Flying High, this is our show, and I've got to get people who fly high, you know, and that.
Oh, so you thought about me and flying high. I told you the medication just hit, so I'm flying low, you know, right at the moment.
Well, it was fortunate that you and I met over here, you know, about 3 weeks ago and so forth. And I remembered, that's the character. I remember we talked this and that. Yeah, we did. So I thought of you on the show, and that's great.
Oh, man, excuse me a moment. I'm going to lose it just a minute. Okay, I'm all right now. Just kind of crying a little bit, Sujoy. Thanks for taking the camera off, Sujoy, while I'm crying. I don't want, no, hey, you put it back on, Sujoy. Damn it, Sujoy. Oh, my goodness. Sue Joy is
Well,
head of the department here.
there's gotta be
10 minutes? 10 minutes more? Then bring the puppet out. Please bring the puppet out.
Well, there's got to be 2 good-looking guys instead of just one here, you know.
Let me ask you a question. How did you get the backdrop like this black? See, it's all nothing. There are no trees or nothing like that. How did you get that?
I told him, said, let's have no background, and then you put the background you want on there, you know. So we can have palm trees here. We're in Hawaii if you want, you know.
Well, Hawaii is kind of expensive. I was thinking Milpitas. You know, I mean, you ever been to Milpitas? Anybody been to Milpitas? Not expensive. You know, it's by the water. You got a
Hawaiian shirt. Look at your shirt.
Oh, well, I tell you, when I got my pineapple shirt working, where's pineapple? Pineapple juice, pineapple parts, and pineapple chunks. You know, you got to work with that with little, you know, sour cream.
Well, I lived in Kakahaka, Hawaii.
Okay, you want to try that again? Take 2. All right, where did you live?
Kakahaka, Hawaii. And that's where I lived for about 3 years.
No, my brother lived in Kauai.
In Kauai,
yeah, Kauai. You lived in the northern side for about a year.
We went out there and we went hunting out in the, not hunting, we went fishing actually. The fishing was fantastic. It got more fish than I cared to have, you know.
Well, why would you do that then? Just get enough to eat and then, you know, throw them back.
And I did.
Oh, there you go.
I threw a lot of fish back.
What made you go to Hawaii? What, am I interviewing him or is he interviewing me? I mean, what the hell? What kind of show am I on?
You mentioned Hawaii.
Agent? I gotta talk to my agent. What the heck? So, what made you go to Hawaii?
Well, I just told you. I'll tell you in a second. But first of all, I gotta get this across. You know, between 70 and 100 is middle age now. And you're well, you're not quite. I'm middle aged now.
Yeah, I hate.
But when I say middle aged, people say, "Oh, wait a minute, you're not that young." Well, I am when you take it from 70 to 100. You know, so I'm right there. And and when you told me that you did your show on the 76,
that was when we got started.
That's when you were born, I thought. You know.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you look younger than younger.
It's the medication I'm on. You know, you got to get that good medication. Like I said, they just come into effect right now, and that's the medication that keeps you young. Keep you young, good healthy meal if you can. You know.
Yeah.
You can be around good, healthy people, you know, people that are positive thinking people. And that's it, you know. You know, if you're
let me
going to
come
get
back
married.
to this in a minute. But I can tell you, Kauai, Hawaii. My ex-wife was in Kauai, Hawaii.
Ex-wife,
She used to be a hula dancer, by the way.
A hula dancer, okay.
Yeah, and she was really good, you know, and I thought, wow, that.
Now, just a minute. Now, you're telling us a little too much. I mean, this is a family show. I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, there we go. What? I don't know. That's not Hawaii, but.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's close enough, Sue Joy. Oh, you were going back to your wife. It was getting interesting. Let me get comfortable.
Then she went to St. Mary's College over here, so she
now
moved
it went
there.
bad.
That's what happened.
Somewhere.
She came here, so and then she used to do dances for the shows and what have you. So
dances for the show.
Yes.
You left a lot out there. What were we talking about?
Well, she did hula shows.
Oh,
we
there
had
you go.
A group out here out of Pasadena and what am I saying? Oakland too, you know. So yeah. So anyway, she did shows. But let's get away from that. It's your interview, not mine, remember?
Oh, I thought we were talking about hula girls. I was, what was going on? I mean, we went here, then we came back there, and hey, shiny hat.
Yeah.
But, we're talking about Hawaii, but.
Well, you're going to mention, you said medication, you know.
Yeah, it just took effect right now. You know, actually, I think I'm in Hawaii if I didn't know any better. Hey, there go some geckos, some lizards running around. Just like Hawaii, you know that,
yes,
right?
Sir. Absolutely.
You know, they got the lizards, the geckos, eating the roaches, big giant roaches.
Oh,
people don't know that if you go to Hawaii, you go to the Pacific Islands or something like that. Hey, there we go. Hey, that lady owes me money.
Look at that, boy.
She owes me money.
Sarkar is on the ball.
Everybody owes me money. What the heck? All right, Susan. It took me a long time to look for that. He was probably going. He was going trying to find that thing. Good one, Sue Joy. All right, and that was filmed on the college. That was filmed on campus. That's Samoan girls. They're oh man, my Samoan's going.
I don't know if that shows on camera while we're on too. Maybe so.
Yeah, it'll be on. It'll be on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
But he won't get that shiny hat. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to ask me now?
About 3 or 4 or 5 more things, but I'll start with number 1 here.
Okay.
Okay, right now you do some filming yourself and so forth.
Yeah.
And tell me some real action films. What do you do? What are you interested in filming?
I want to, one I've been trying to get, but it's just been me again. It's just doing, I want to do sci-fi here, film here on campus. But it's just me getting off my ass doing it.
Yeah.
Can you say ass on here? Oh, it's okay. Oh, I was going to say something else. 5 minutes.
Your patooties.
Hey, I'm not that young anymore. I can't. 5 minutes, man, that's a lot of time. But basically, just sci-fi. I want to do that because it's scaring people. I really like that, especially if it's on vid. Hey,
oh my God, yo.
There's my friend Leo. What's up, G? Oh,
is he gonna bite us? Where is he?
Well, if that's his thing, a bear?
Oh, I don't want to grab his nose.
Well, if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I want to do is just film sci-fi here on campus.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
When you say sci-fi,
science fiction,
science fiction, yeah,
horror movies like that.
Horror
stuff like that,
yeah.
There's nobody's doing that here, and got a vehicle, got a few lines, and I was hoping Sujoy would help me, but thanks, Sujoy.
He's the man of the hour, Sujoy. But
I like to mess with him.
Yeah, in doing these films,
Oh, there we go. Out of space.
Now you're okay. You got you right there where you want now.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Do we fly high now? Can we start flying high?
I don't know, but just staying here, there's no oxygen out there.
I feel like I'm near thin air now.
Hey, man, yeah, let me get. I want to be in the party too. All right, let's give me a hat. Oh, so what else? What else?
Okay, so you're doing sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
I'd love to see you doing more comedy stuff. I'd even get on your comedy show. I'll go.
Oh, okay.
And I'll let you wear my hat.
And then,
if you're lucky.
Then I go broke. But oh my goodness, this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's basically about it. Comedy now and sci-fi.
And sci-fi, right both, yeah.
And then Sujoy are doing the annual travel show they have at the I think it's the Santa Clara Convention Center. They have that once a year, and I would really advise anybody who's never gone to the travel show. You go there, you're going to come away with something, and you're going to travel. You know, any place around the world, and they have so many freebies. They give you handbags, and you just come back like it's Halloween. You get so many gifts at travel show. Then Comic-Con up here, they have that, and out there working at a stripper bar that's trying to make some extra money. You know.
Taking that in, let me show you something I have
stripper
here.
Stripper bar? I don't know what we're working with.
Check this out now. Feed the need, need the feed.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, Spectrum. I'm the board for Spectrum, and I've talked about Spectrum here before, but I don't want to spend much time on this. But we're doing a big program on Feed the Need. We're helping as many people as possible. So
I like that.
That's what I wanted to show here for you. And on these things, getting paid is fine. That's great.
Well, it helps. It helps. Everybody likes to eat.
And the one thing I do, and you can hear it on television, most of my money would go to charity anyway, because one of the things I do, we have these freewheelchairmission.com, and I have had wheelchairs sent to Australia, to Mexico, 550. Man. I didn't pay for them, but I facilitated it so that it happens.
I'm impressed.
And now I'm shooting for Cuba. And Afghanistan. I have an Afghan friend. I have friends in Cuba. I've been to Cuba. And I'd love to see them get these wheelchairs. 550 is a whole lot of wheelchairs.
Hey, that's a lot. So when you went to Cuba, you try any of the cigars or drink? Or
of course.
There we
but
go.
I don't smoke, so I thought,
well, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll take the drinks.
I went to Mexico, though, and I did see somebody with a wheelchair. It was like a red job, the kind they have in my free wheel. My God, that's my wheelchair, So I went up to the guy who was fixing something on the hand, and I said, well, let's go over here. And I bought some stuff for him. We fixed it up.
Right on.
So that was a kick in the pants, sort of my own wheelchair.
Take a picture with the guy if you do that. Next time, if you see your own wheelchair, you have him take a picture, a selfie with the gentleman. I think it's a novel idea. No one's doing that. I don't know of anybody doing that.
Is that right?
You can help. Well, you can help fellow human beings, especially on a planet like that, in a wheelchair. As if you don't have one, trying to maneuver around without one, then you see how valuable they are.
That's
it's
just
just a little bit that helps, a little here, a little there, and stuff like that.
Well, I have 2 dogs. Every day I take them to this place where they have older people, and they pet them, they love them, and so forth,
Sure, comfort.
And
like
so,
a dog.
And I love doing that, and my dogs love doing it also. Now, sir, one last word from you, and then we got to stop.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's it. How about a big five, high five, my friend?
Oh, you got it. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Now, you're a doctor, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I got shooting pains. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, he's a doctor. I had shooting pains, and you know what he told me? What kind of carrots do I eat? What kind of carrots do I eat? I got shooting pains, man. Think we got to go.
Yep.
Think we got to go.
We do, and I'm an acupuncturist too, by the way, so I'll fix you up, my friend.
Oh, it's the shoulder I got the shooting pains in the shoulder.
Kidding.
No, I'm Eddie. But anyway, well, I hope so.
So long, everybody.
Goodbye,
and I will
everybody.
See you next
Morgan.
week. Hasta
All
la
right.
vista.
All right, kid. It's been a pleasure.